and joining us for, I think, what is probably the 4th, 5th year in a row. And people were asking, Rick, how do you keep getting him back when he's got to come talk about Tottenham? And I say, I don't bloody know why I keep getting him back here, because it is a really tough conversation at times. I've got the superb broadcaster, journalist, events host, football correspondent as well, the superb, the brilliant, oh, what a talker he is, and what a man he is, and the busiest time of his year, as we know. Ben Jacobs is back. Ben, thank you so much for your time. How are you?
Very well. There's pressure, a new presenting partnership, a first journalist of the transfer window, but it's great to be back. I always enjoy listening and coming on the show and looking forward, if that's the right way of putting it, to speaking about Spurs during what is unfortunately a difficult time for the club.
Benny, thank you so much. Oh, listen, I say, Ben, thank you so much. Really, really do appreciate that. And like you said, there is so much to talk about on Spurs. And I kind of give everybody a lowdown what we are looking to cover during this show. Look, there are strong links, of course, to, as many know, a lot of midfielders, forwards, defenders out there. We'll be covering all that and more in, of course, this transfer window update. And I have to just start, I can't say it's housekeeping. All I would say, it's just kind of the general feeling that you know as Spurs fans, that we've seen it before and will no doubt see it again. And it's congratulations to Emerson Royal, who becomes the very latest in a line of former Spurs players to go on and win a trophy. So congratulations to Emerson Royal. Almost written in the stars, wasn't it? As soon as Spurs release a player, they go on and win a trophy. I'm going to have to ask you, Ben, I think that's the 145th player to have left Spurs to win a trophy. Are we going to end this trophy drought at some point, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, let's just think about how close they could already be to doing that with a run in the League Cup. And it could be one of those that just sort of calms the nerves and adds a little bit of optimism and hope. But there is just that odd knack, isn't it, of leave Spurs, win a trophy, although not really been that routine for Harry Kane to sort of go and do that. But Emerson Royal, congratulations to him. And who knows, Tottenham might be next, because remember what Ange said? He always delivers something in his second season.
He does.
Let's be honest, guys, right? Isn't it the biggest draw? People always ask me, like, Sean, why would this player come to Tottenham? I want to say, because after Tottenham, they're going to win a trophy. You know, if you come to Tottenham 4 years later, you're going to pick up your trophy. It's the biggest draw. It doesn't matter about money, anything else. Trophies come later. It's perfect.
Just on Heung-min Son, a lot of speculation, Ben, with regards to where we are with Son. You know, I think there's no getting away from it. Sonny hasn't hit the heights of last season. Although, look, he's very much adored in the Spurs fan base. There's some Spurs fans here that will allow him to see out his contract and would offer him another one, you know, on top of that. But there is a feeling that this kind of, I'm not sure in the last kind of month or two that there was like a contract on the table for Son. There's certain reports that that contract is now no longer there. There's been reports of there being a trigger option for a further 12 months. What do you understand to be the situation, very quickly, Ben, with Heung-min Son's future at Tottenham?
So I'm not aware of any new contract discussion with Son. It was always, and has been since pretty much last summer, the willingness at that point to trigger the 1 year and tie him down until 2026. And it's a surprise in some ways that that hasn't just been done, regardless of whether he stays or goes. But the hesitation behind triggering that extra year now presents an opportunity for potential suitors that they might not have thought would have existed come last summer. So Son hasn't matched the same heights, but as I'm sure Tottenham fans realise, he's a fantastic ambassador for the club. He still offers something different, and the off-field influence is there as well. But we have to say that if the January window shuts and that year is still not triggered, then there is a situation naturally where this could be Son's last season at Tottenham. And I think it unlikely at this stage that a new contract or a long-term contract is probably the more accurate way of putting it, is going to be offered to Son. So we're left with two options, I'm told, at the moment. One is the original expectation that they just trigger the 1 year extension, and that's still there. It's not expired or anything like that. And two is that for whatever reason, likely down to terms and maybe some kind of wage reduction, Son agrees to stay on under different terms to now, but still a 1 year extension. But I'm not told that Spurs are thinking about anything other than a 1 year extension, whether triggered or whether new. Maybe there's a logic they sit down and say 1 + 1, or maybe there's a logic that they finally just do trigger it. But nobody that I've spoken to has really given a clear explanation as to why they've delayed triggering it. And I say delayed triggering it because I was told by several sources within Tottenham, not that they might trigger it, not that they could trigger it, but that it was a default that they would trigger it.
Right.
And that was July, August, September, October. And then suddenly we get to November, December, January, and it still hasn't been triggered. And to be honest with you, I still don't have the answer for that. Tottenham, fair play to them, are good at keeping some secrets. And I can't give you an explanation as to why a near guarantee it would be triggered has now gone to effectively limbo. Where he might go, a couple of interesting links. One, which is a new one that I can give you here on Last Word on Spurs, is Frankfurt. So that would be a return to Germany. They're interested in the situation, and we wait and see whether they advance it in any way. They've not had any direct contact with Son yet, but that could be one to watch. And then Saudi is the other one where Son has said publicly he doesn't want to go to Saudi, but if he's in a position where he feels his Spurs tenure is ending, does he change his mind? And I can guarantee you that if there is even a 1% opportunity for Saudi to pitch to Son to change his mind, they will move aggressively. And Al Ahly are the club for Son to watch at the moment. And Son has been on the original list of targets for Saudi Arabia for the last 2 years, but they've never wasted their time advancing anything because they realized the contractual situation didn't open a window of possibility. And Son had said that Saudi wasn't for him. But of course, when he said that, it was like Ronaldo had joined and a few others had joined and nobody knew how the project was going to go. Whereas let's say he was open to Saudi this summer, or if it's extended till 2026, the summer after, then you're looking at a year or 2 more years, the Saudi Pro League, where who knows how many top players may be there. And I think a number of players have changed their mind. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is one example. So Al Ahly wanted Rashford, but Rashford doesn't want to go to Saudi. Al Ahly want Ademola Lookman also on the left side. It's a crazy ambitious move, and there's almost no chance that that's going to come off. Atlanta are top of Serie A. He's not going to go mid-season or probably in the summer either. So now they're drawing up a list of other wide attackers, versatile attackers, players that can float left or central. And there's a possibility that Son is going to come onto their shortlist if he opens the door to Saudi Arabia. Right now, I'd say it's 99.9% shut by Son to Saudi Arabia. But just to add a little bit of context as well, the reason why they want Son and want Casemiro and in the long run want Bruno Fernandes and others is because this summer, the television rights cycle renews. And it's the first real cycle because the first one was done in-house. It was given to Saudi Sports Company. It's the first cycle where the Middle East and North Africa and the international markets will all be split. And because of your Ronaldo in Portugal, or maybe if he was to join your Mo Salah in Egypt, there's a chance for them for the first time to sell internationally to certain individual territories and get a return on investment. And as a consequence, the idea of Son, South Korea, Salah, Egypt, Bruno Fernandes, Portugal, because Ronaldo won't be there forever, because the TV cycles are 5 years, the feeling is that these are the names that might be the difference between getting a big return on investment in television revenue and audience, or the league tapering off in the coming years. So this is why I think that Saudi have never gone away from Son. Son's just gone away from Saudi. And let's see if he doesn't stay at Spurs, whether his perspective changes.